Hi everybody and welcome to yet another Wildside Walk. Today we're in the little tiny village of Wildboarclough, which lies about halfway between Macclesfield and Buxton. It lies in the shadow of the wonderful Shuttling Slough, which at 506 metres just seems to dominate the whole skyline around this little village. This little Peak District village is supposedly pronounced Wildboarclough, but I've still yet to hear it pronounced this way. There are several theories how it gets its name, Wildboarclough. One being that it was the last place in England that a wild boar was killed before they became extinct. This is disputed though, and another theory is that it gets its name from Clough Brook that runs through the village and which is known for its rapid rise in water levels after heavy rain, when a torrent of water or a bore of water floods down the valley. This happened as recently as 1989 when the Clough Brook burst its banks, washing away the village bridge and killing a motorist in the process. I'm presently in the grounds of this beautiful little church which is in the heart of the village. The Church of St Saviour's was built out of stone that came from the demolished dye house of Crag Works, which partly stood in these very grounds. It's said that it is still possible to see some dye stains on some of the stonework even today. It was built between 1901 and 1909 by Frederick Arthur Stanley, the 16th Earl of Derby, to celebrate the safe return of his sons from the Boer War. Today's walk starts at the sizable free car park which is situated right next to Clough House Farm. I'll put a link in the description. Follow the small road that comes out of the car park going slightly up the hill. You then go through a large gate. You will cross a small stream named Cumberland Brook, which you will end up following up the hillside for a mile or so. Then instead of following the path to the right, we will continue climbing the hillside straight ahead of us, again following the small Cumberland Brook, with several little waterfalls falling from these beautiful peaty moors. We will then take a detour off to the left, where we will come out onto the main Macclesfield to Buxton Road, to visit the well-known Cat and Fiddle. This used to be the second highest pub in England, but has recently been converted into a distillery and is now said to be the highest distillery in the country. After a quick look around, we will then come back down the same path, but instead of descending back down the hillside, we will continue along the moors until we hit the A54, which is the Congleton to Buxton Road. We will then cross the road, follow the path that runs through the valley, heading along the side of the Dane River and down to the Three Shires Head. It's here we will hopefully meet a friend of mine who is a popular Instagrammer and is well known for her outdoor pursuits and wild swimming. We will then take the path which will head back into Cheshire and follow another path which will take us all the way down the hillside back into Wildboarclough. It's a lovely day at the moment, even though the weather forecast is a little changeable, but let's keep our fingers crossed for a rain-free walk. Okay, better get the dogs. Let's get going. Once you cross the footbridge, you'll see the path going off to your right, heading towards the large gate. This track is actually classed as a road and is known as Cumberland Road, so do take care as it's sometimes used by off-road motorcycles. It's a steady climb up the hillside going along the side of the trees. You'll see Cumberland Brook making its way down the hillside on your right. Once you come to a large gate, you'll see that the path splits off to the right. You need to go almost straight on but slightly to your left up the hillside onto the moors. As you climb the hill, the landscape in front of you just seems to unfold, whereas behind you, the views are truly spectacular. Once you reach the top of the hillside, the path heading to the Three Shires Head is on your right. But we're going to take this short, optional detour towards the Cat and Fiddle. In 1813, John Ryle, who was a local silk merchant, bought a plot of land next to a new turnpike road. On this plot he later built a beautiful, warm and cosy haven where weary travellers could stop for a drink and a bite to eat. The weather here is often unpredictable, and the inn soon became a popular stop when travelling between the towns of Macclesfield and Buxton. It stood here for all those years, but recently in 2015 it closed its doors for what seemed like the last time. But thankfully it has reopened as a whisky distillery. And once again, whatever the weather, a warm welcome is guaranteed. You can now book tours of the building, book a table for a bite to eat or drink, or just buy something from the wonderful little shop here. Well, after all these distractions, we better carry on with our walk. After crossing the busy Macclesfield to Buxton road, head back along the same path that you came. But this time we continue along the path heading towards Wildboarclough. Eventually we'll come to the Congleton to Buxton road, which we cross and head down the hillside until we come upon this impressive structure. This is the 8-metre tall stone built ventilation chimney of the nearby Dame Boat colliery, which is on the opposite side of the valley. It's one of only 9 that still survive in England today. It is listed as a scheduled monument. This basically means it is given protection from any unauthorised change. The colliery, now disused, stood beside the River Dane, around 110 metres to the south-east of the chimney. The colliery was probably in use principally from 1780 to 1880. The furnace and chimney were constructed during the early 19th century, but only the chimney now remains. Keep heading down the hillside and through a gate. You'll soon pick up the river, which will be on your left hand side. The River Dane starts increasing in size quite quickly. Just as the path starts to level, you'll come upon the Three Shires Head. And as the name suggests, this is where Cheshire, Derbyshire and Staffordshire all meet. This wonderful packhorse bridge is Grade 2 listed and was probably constructed in the late 18th century. I can see that my friend Maddie is already here and all ready to go. It's a great place to stop, have a cup of tea and maybe even a swim. You can often find Maddie here swimming in all seasons and all weathers. I'll let her tell you in her own words why she does it.
A lot of people ask me that question, why do I wild swim? And especially why do I wild swim in the winter months? The simple answer is, I love it. There's nothing quite like it. It's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's invigorating, it's wonderful. The cold makes me focus on the moment. My mind empties and I'm forced to forget any worries, any stress. All I can do is concentrate on my breath. Cold water swimming is known for its many health benefits, both mental and physical, and is rapidly becoming an extremely popular pastime. It gives me a chance to stop and really appreciate my surroundings from a different perspective. It feels very special, calming, as though I'm completely immersed in nature. If you're thinking of trying a cold water swim, I highly recommend it. A cold dip in the morning really sets you up for the day. You'll feel like you can conquer the world, and it definitely makes you feel alive. I have become addicted to cold water swimming, and I've met some amazing people through a shared love of plunging ourselves into cold water. Hopefully I've inspired you to give it a try, and let's hope we can say the same for Neil.
Well, yes, of course I would have loved to have joined you, Maddie, but unfortunately I forgot my swimming things. And after all, somebody had to film it. I'll leave a link down in the description of Madeline's Instagram account, It really is worth following her as she posts some wonderful photographs and locations. Meanwhile, we keep on the same path, keeping the Dane River on our left-hand side. The views around here are just simply wonderful. And again, that feeling of space just opens up in front of you. The path up will eventually move away from the river and you'll come out onto a small road. Just go straight across, and next to the farm building you'll see a gate with another path that'll lead you across the moor. It's around here you'll get another view of the magnificent Shetlandslough, which will be straight ahead of you. This is where we once again have to cross the A54. Do take care as the path comes straight out onto the road. You'll soon pass this lovely stone-built little house, which is here as a shelter for the sheep. The path drops down the hillside and heads to the far corner on the right towards the trees. Once through the gate, you'll head down this steep path towards the road. It can be quite difficult to walk down, especially after heavy rainfall, when it can resemble a small river. Head down the road and then bear right, passing the back of Crag Hall on your left. The road will now take you back down to Clough House Farm, where we started the walk.
So there we have it. It's another Wildside walk done. That was Wildboarclough to Three Shires Head by the Cat and Fiddle. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. It's been a beautiful walk, a beautiful day. We've managed to avoid getting wet. Wind's picked up a little bit now, but yeah, really nice walk. I hope you can take inspirations from these walks and get out and try and do them. They're really good for your mental health and your soul and just generally your well-being. It's fantastic just to be out here. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. You could even just leave a comment or even just a like. but any interaction really helps with the promotion of the channel. So thanks a lot for the people who do that. So until next time, I hope you can join me on my next walk. I've no idea where it's going to be yet, but as always, I can guarantee you one thing, it's going to make you feel alive. So till then, take care and thanks again for watching.